On the news tonight, Peter Obi criticizes House representatives for failing to criminalize vote buying at party primaries level. Troops disrupt terrorist logistics operation, neutralizing multiple insurgents in Borno. NAFDAC issues public alert over recall of Indomie vegetable flavor noodles. On the foreign scene, 9 killed, 10 wounded in early morning shooting in South Africa. Good evening, this is News at 7 on Western Spring Television. My name is Okpayamuni. The 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has criticized the House of Representatives for failing to criminalize vote buying at the level of party primaries, describing the decision as a setback for Nigeria's democracy. In a post on X on Sunday, the former Anambra State governor said Nigerians had hoped the lawmakers would take a firm stand against vote buying. Describing vote buying as a major problem undermining credible elections in the country, Obi said the expectation was dashed when the House declined to address inducements at the level of party primaries. He argued that the Green Chamber's decision not to criminalize inducement at party primaries showed that lawmakers were unwilling to confront the root of the problem. Obi noted that efforts to curb vote buying would fail if the issue was not addressed from the beginning of the electoral process. Obi called for bold reforms, insisting that Nigeria's democratic future must not be compromised. Here in Osun State, leaders of the All Progressives Congress, APC in Obokun local government area, have urged state and national leaders of the party to rally all members behind its governorship candidate, Bola Oyebamiji, ahead of the August 8, 2026 election. Oyebamiji, the party's flag bearer, emerged through a consensus process with all other aspirants reportedly stepping down in his favor. However, concerns have emerged that some party members dissatisfied with the outcome of the governorship primary may no longer be fully committed to the party's campaign as political activities intensify towards the poll. Rising from a meeting, the APC Leaders Forum in the local government called for unity among party members, stressing that Oyebamiji must enjoy the full support of the party to secure victory. The call was contained in a communique issued by the forum's co-conveners Olatunbosun Oyintiloye and Tuji Adeshokun. The forum said if party members would come together and present a united front, Oyebamiji would win the election without difficulty. In the communique, the forum described Oyebamiji as a loyal, committed, and highly experienced politician, adding that his success at the polls must be pursued with unity of purpose. The Edo State government has said the 2026 appropriation bill presented to the State House of Assembly by Governor Monday Okwebolo is designed to accelerate infrastructure renewal, expand employment opportunities, and strengthen social services across the state. The Commissioner for Finance, Emmanuel Okwebo, disclosed these on Sunday while briefing journalists on the details of the bill, noting that the budget aligns with Governor Okwebolo's Shine agenda, which prioritizes security, healthcare, infrastructure, natural resources, and agriculture and education. Speaking of agriculture, which received 68 billion naira in targeted funding, the commissioner said the allocation reflects the administration's focus on food security, job creation, and rural stability. He added that the provision also supports livestock development through a dedicated ministry, offering a structured and preventive response to farmer-herder conflicts while strengthening agricultural value chains. On the social sector, Okelbo said the budget makes provisions for education and health care through the recruitment of teachers and health workers, alongside continued investment in schools and healthcare facilities. He said job creation is another major feature of the 2026 budget, with 116.46 billion naira set aside for employment-related programs. Moving on, Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara on Sunday visited his Bayelsa State counterpart, Doye Diri, over the death of Senator Lawrence Ewurijakpo. Ewurijakpo was the deputy governor of Bayelsa State until his sudden death on December 11. Fubara described the late deputy governor as a man of rare caliber whose life in the public service was exemplary adding that he combined intellect with humility. Talking security, the troops of Operation Adinkai, in collaboration with local vigilante elements, have successfully disrupted a terrorist logistics operation and neutralized multiple insurgents during a well-coordinated long-range ambush as part of current kinetic operations conducted in the early hours of Sunday. The media information officer of the Joint Task Force, Sani Uba, disclosed this in a statement on Sunday. He revealed that the troops, acting on credible intelligence from own sources regarding the movement of logistics supplies by suspected JAS ISWAP elements, troops of OPHK, and members of a civilian joint task force, supported by local hunters, deployed a designated interception point between Sujiri and the Kayamla villages in Borno State on Saturday night. According to him, during the ensuing exchange, 17 suspected terrorists were neutralized, while others fled the scene with gunshot wounds. Recovered items include several bicycles, assorted food items, drugs and medical supplies, detergents, clothing materials, torch and other sundry logistics items, as well as assorted weapons of different calibers and ammunition. Bandits on Saturday night attacked the Fananawa village in Bukuyum local government area of Zamfara State, killing one person and kidnapping several others. The Bukuyum communities have within the past month suffered repeated attacks by armed groups, including a recent bomb blast. A resident in the area, Malam Sani, said the bandits stormed the village at night and operated until dawn. The Zamfara State Police Command confirmed the incident, but put the number of abducted victims at 5. The command spokesperson, DSP Yazid Abubakar, said police personnel had launched a rescue operation and expressed confidence that it will be successful. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has issued a public alert over the recall of Indomie vegetable flavor noodles, citing the presence of undeclared allergens that could pose serious health risks to consumers. In a statement released on Sunday, NAFDAC's Director General, Mojisola Adeyeye, clarified that the affected product is not currently on sale in Nigeria. However, she said the agency has intensified nationwide surveillance to prevent the product from entering the country or circulating in any market. Adeyeye said the agency's Sports Inspection Directorate has also been placed on heightened alert to prevent the importation of any implicated or unapproved noodle products into the country. According to the statement, noodles are included on the federal government's import prohibition list, making the importation into the country illegal. Adeyeye called on consumers to exercise caution, immediately discard the recalled product if encountered, and report any suspected sale or distribution to the nearest NAFDAC office. Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, have arrested a suspected female drug kingpin and prominent member of a notorious trans-border trafficking organization, following a 20-month manhunt sparked by the arrest of the group's former leaders. NDLEA spokesperson Femi Babafemi disclosed these in a statement on Sunday. He said the cocaine trafficking cartel, previously headed by couple Bolanle Lukman Dauda and Olayinka Toibat Dauda, was smashed in Lagos and Ogun State by the agency, with multi-billion naira worth of the illicit drug recovered from them. Babafemi said following the arrest, Simbiat, who went on the ground since May 2024, was nabbed in a Lagos home, where an additional 23.50 kilograms of a Class A drug were recovered from a children's room. In a similar operation, NDLEA operatives attached to Terminal 2 departure hall of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja, Lagos, on Thursday intercepted a 36-year-old businessman, Nwanwene Robinson Destiny, with a total of 1,020 pills of tramadol, 225 milligram, and tapentadol, 200 milligram, concealed in his luggage while attempting to board a Royal Air Maroc flight to Milan, Italy, where he is based. The suspect, Destiny claimed the successful trafficking of opioids to Italy would have fetched him 200 euros from the person he was to deliver them to. A fire outbreak has destroyed the Sabuwa Lale furniture market located in Taludu, Gwale local government area of Kano State. According to reports, the fire started at about 2:30 a.m. on Sunday and spread rapidly across the market, burning many shops before officials of Kano State Fire Service arrived. One of the affected traders, Bashir Ustaz, said he was shocked when he arrived at the market and found his shop completely destroyed. He added that just a day before the incident, the market was very busy and crowded, but by morning, everything had been reduced to ashes. The vice chairman of the market, Adamu Mansour, said the fire started around 2:30 a.m. and raged to dawn. Madaki explained that the traders could not yet estimate the total value of their losses, but said some individual shops lost furniture worth millions of naira. Reports indicate that at least 11 permanent shops and about 20 temporary structures were completely burnt. Still to come, Nigerian Air Force pays compensation to victims and families affected by accidental airstrike by accord on December 25, 2024 in Sokoto State. We'll bring you more on this when we return.
Samuel Ladoke Akintola was a frontal figure in the historical moves that birthed an independent Nigeria from colonial Britain. As a freedom activist, he deployed his wits, energy, intellect, and oratory skills to prepare the grounds for constitutional talks that eventually culminated in the country's independence in 1960. The 13th Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò of Yoruba land cut his teeth as a politician when he became a foundation member of Action Group, the dominant political party in the Western region, and was elected the party's parliamentary leader of opposition at the Federal House of Representatives. The crisis in the Action Group, which pitched Samuel Ladoke Akintola against his leader, was not only a sore point in his colorful political life, but a reversal of gains which characterized the exemplary leadership of Awolowo Akintola premiership. 23 years after his death, Oyo State University of Technology Ògbómọ̀ṣọ́ was renamed Samuel Ladoke Akintola University of Technology to keep his memory alive. Western Spring Television identifies Samuel Ladoke Akintola as a major character in history.
Up to 75% of human infectious diseases originates in animals. And as more bushmeat is brought into our cities, the risk of human infectious disease outbreaks increases. Ebola, monkeypox, Lassa fever, yellow fever, and even COVID-19 may have been transmitted in this way. Illegal bushmeat trade not only endangers our wildlife, but affects our health and may damage our economy. So please, say no to illegal bushmeat. Keep them wild and keep us safe.
Aminatu, the legendary queen of Zazzau, is best known to historians as Queen Amina of Zaria, an old walled town and capital of the Hausa state of Zazzau. Amina was a great warrior and the first woman to rule the ancient kingdom of Zazzau. The 34 years as queen witnessed an unprecedented expansion of Zazzau by conquests. Queen Amina of Zaria belongs to the class of Amazons by the might of her army and her strings of conquests. She opened Zaria to trans-border trade and was said to have initiated kola nut cultivation in the ancient kingdom. the Hausa Muslim figure, was born in 1533 and died in 1610 at the age of 77 years. Folklores remember Aminatu, the Queen of Zazzau, as a brave, smart and talented leader whose giant statue now adorns the National Arts Theatre in Lagos, Nigeria, while many educational institutions bear her name. Western Spring Television identifies Queen Amina as a watershed character in history.
Welcome back. This is still news at 7 on Western Spring Television. A reminder of our headline. The 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has criticized the House of Representatives for failing to criminalize vote buying at the levels of party primaries, describing the decision as a setback for Nigeria's democracy. The troops of Operation Identify, in collaboration with local vigilante elements, have successfully disrupted a terrorist logistics operation and neutralized multiple insurgents during a well-coordinated long-range ambush as part of current kinetic operations conducted in the early hours of Sunday. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has issued a public alert over the recall of Indomie vegetable-flavored noodles, citing the presence of undeclared allergens that could pose serious health risks to consumers. On the foreign scene, 9 people were killed and 10 wounded in an early morning shooting in the township southwest of Johannesburg on Sunday, and authorities have launched a manhunt for the suspect. The Nigerian Air Force has paid compensation to victims and families affected by the accidental airstrike that occurred on December 25, 2024 in Sokoto State. The victims are residents of Gidan Bisa and Rumtuwa villages in Silame local government area of the state. This was contained in a statement by NAF's Director of Public Relations and Information, Air Commodore Eimen Ejodame, on Sunday in Abuja. In his remarks, the Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Sunday Aneke, represented by the Chief of Civil Military Relations, Edward Gabwet, expressed gratitude to the state government for fostering a strong relationship between NAF and the people. He commended Governor Ahmed Aliyu for inclusive development policies and security initiatives under the 9-point SMART agenda, particularly the establishment of a Sokoto State Community Guards Corps. The Chief of the Air Staff explained that the airstrike was conducted under Operation Fasan Yama following intelligence reports of suspected armed terrorists transiting through the affected communities. According to him, although multiple intelligence checks informed the mission, a petition received in April 2025 alleged civilian casualties. And out to the foreign scene, 9 people were killed and 10 wounded in an early morning shooting in a township southwest of Johannesburg on Sunday, and authorities have launched a manhunt for the suspect. South African Police Service, in a statement this morning, said the incident occurred just before 1 a.m. local time at a licensed tavern in Johannesburg's Bekesdal Township. The police disclosed that about 12 suspects in a white minibus and a silver sedan opened fire at the tavern patrons and continued shooting randomly as they fled to the scene, adding that the motive for the shooting would be determined by investigation. The force added that the injured have been taken to medical facilities for treatment. Bekesdal is part of the Rand West City local municipality, whose website describes the township as being an area characterized by high levels of unemployment and poverty due to a decline in gold mining.
It's a horrible thing, something which is inhuman and cannot be allowed or tolerated. Therefore, those thugs and criminals who did this, we are not going to rest until we trace all of them. It's reported that it was plus minus 10 suspects, armed suspects. 9 of them had pistols and 1 had AS. AK-47 rifle, found people enjoying themselves out of the blue, unprovoked. They attacked, randomly shot people.
In the United Kingdom, the chairman of the Labour Party, Anatoly, has insisted that Sir Keir Starmer would absolutely still be Prime Minister next Christmas, despite the party's dire position in the polls. Speaking in a news church, Shirley acknowledged that things are still hard for Britons, but strong and optimistic tone about the year ahead. She said the government has taken a lot of difficult decisions this year to stabilize the economy, but they are not